So I'm Jessense Freeman. I'm a spoken word activist. The first poem I'm going to do today, it's called This is Genocide. It's actually about the situation in Palestine, and I don't feel it gets spoken about very much within the poetry community. I always do a pre-poem disclaimer when I'm talking about Palestine. So here we go. I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm just against criminal acts. I'm anti-war, I'm anti-killing the poor. I'm anti-New World Order, I'm anti-border. I'm anti-slaughter, I'm anti-genocide. I don't take pride in taking innocent lives. On that note, here's a poem I wrote. Our head Tamimi may be free, but Palestine is still crumbling. The majority don't bat an eyelid. Our skies aren't filled with missiles. We don't have limited electricity. We don't have a limited water supply. We don't sit and cry over lost family brutally wiped out for protesting their rights. I've said it before. This is genocide. This is apartheid. And Israel takes pride claiming every shot as intentional, killing men, women and children, killing those marked as medics and media. No shame in these senseless killings. Israel claims self-defense, but what are they defending themselves against? Palestine has no military. They throw rocks, stones, homemade bombs, nothing compared to the weapons Israel is sold by the UK and America. This act of terror is brushed over, unnoticed. No one cares. Palestinian villages are demolished without warning. Homes ripped down to make way for Israeli houses to be built in their place, leaving thousands of Palestinians displaced. It's a disgrace, yet people still stand up for Israel. The boycott grows as musicians refuse to go to Israel to perform, and Adidas ends their football sponsor. Global companies have boycotted Israel, yet I still don't see the truth on the news. Our views are skewed by what we're shown. The BBC shouts about anti-Semitism, yet fails to be honest about Israel's acts of terrorism. We are living in a world of fake news, propaganda-filled headlines, Islamophobia at an all-time high. Criticizing Israel doesn't make me an anti-Semite. Listen to the words I say. I never demonize Judaism in any way. I don't care about their faith. I care that innocent lives are being taken away. People complain that Palestine declined deals to separate the land. You people don't understand how this really all began. Palestine's land was stolen from them, given away by Britain. Balfour's declaration in 1917, signing away land that's not theirs. And if it really was about religion, the Torah names Jews as exiles. Their own holy book gives them no rights. But this isn't about the historical Jewish plight. This is about land, weapons, and inevitably money. How can you be comfortable knowing our country supplies weapons to kill the defenseless? Our Prime Minister's husband has a company that holds huge shares in weapons manufacturer BAE Systems. How is this not a conflict of interest? How are we still letting this happen? This situation's baffling until you realise the profits Britain's making. No care for the devastation, just look at the money we're making. It's absolutely disgraceful. It feels shameful to say I'm British. Fuck this country, fuck the borders. I stand for everyone from all corners of this beautiful earth. We won't allow destruction. We won't allow gentrification. We won't allow the abolishment of a nation. Stand with me as I cry. Long live Gaza. Long live Palestine. Free, free Gaza. Free, free Palestine. Thank you. So, I am a rebel poet. I rant and I know it. And this is my most recent ranty rebel poetry called Not Radical. It's not radical to want the best for everyone. It's not radical to have compassion. It's not radical to be anti-government. It's not radical to care about the environment. It's not radical to want equality. It's not radical to live in anarchy. It's not radical. It's sensible. It's necessary. I'm not a radical. I'm a human being. a human seeing the world we live in crumbling before my eyes. Has Stockholm Syndrome taken your life? Do you see past government lies? Have you unmasked the disguise of the people in power? I'm not a radical. I don't even consider it to be revolutionary, the opposite of evolutionary, to go back to living in a society without corporate greed. Capitalist pigs pockets deep, whilst the increase in people sleeping on the street rises 30% across England. Cracking down on immigrants across the board. America rips adults and children apart like what they're already fleeing isn't bad enough. Locked up, kids in cages, 4-year-olds sent to court alone, except for their lawyer, to fight against deportation. But what about the trauma, the devastation they're creating, ripping children from their parents? And our Prime Minister's husband has a company that owns shares in these detention centres. Philip May has fingers in pies that destroy lives. Lockheed Martin, BAE Systems, selling weapons whilst profiting from senseless killing. Theresa arms Saudi, then cowardly asked them not to kill anyone with the weapons she sold them. Yemen's citizens are starving. Israel continues imposing apartheid on a crumbling Palestine. Slaves are sold in Libya. Africa has been raped and pillaged. 1 million Muslims have been detained in China. I challenge you to find detailed exposure on these atrocities in the mainstream media. Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal. Comparing him to Hitler doesn't make me an anti-Semite. I stand with Palestine as they fight for basic human rights. Zionists are the problem, not the Jewish people in their plight. I'm not a radical. I'm not revolutionary. I'm a human being, a human seeing. Cognitive dissonance, cultural conditioning, no one's listening. A society of narcissism has given in to corporate greed. Enjoy your consumerism. I hope you realise the companies you're buying from, like Amazon, have offshore accounts filled with tax evasion, billions stashed away whilst the poorest pay, millions of taxpayers' cash spent on royal weddings and refurbishing Buckingham Palace, not on social housing. But I bet your area is gentrified. We don't consent to paying tax, then have no choice where it's spent. Pay your rent, pay your mortgage, pay your bills, go to work, have some kids, work 40+ hours a week and still struggle to make ends meet. No time to read, watch documentaries or educate, see the truth behind capitalist states. Just watch TV, mainstream, programming you as you pay your licence fee. This has become normality. Surviving is the new living. That's why the French have taken to the streets, revolutionaries in yellow vests, people coming together, the 99% against the rest. Don't let the mainstream fool you. This is about more than just fuel prices. The Gillette Jones demands plan to change society and overthrow their government. It's time the people took back power. Let's join France in their revolution. Let's demand freedom from taxation, equality of wealth across all nations. We are sick, tired, and near to breaking, whilst the elite continue to profit and sit on their billions, as poverty and austerity tears through nations. Have you seen the devastation? Have you seen the mess they're making? Capitalist greed is culminating into the explosion of a mass awakening. We will stop debating. Stand together hand in hand across all nations and lands to say, this is the last day. We take being played as pawns and modern slaves. We are the many, they are the few. If we all stand together for equality, there's nothing they can do. I'm not a radical. I'm a human being. A human seeing the world we live in crumbling. Down with the oligarchy. It's time for change. Peace, freedom, equality. Thank you very much.